What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greg's TV Daily Rewind. Is where we go back a week, give you the past 7 days of tech news videos in one single video. And this is episode 275. In this one, we talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 6. We talk about the S24 series of phones. A lot of information is starting to roll out about those phones, the Pixel 8, and so much more. So enjoy this week, and we'll see you in the next one.
First story of the day has to do with, actually both kind of stories are about the Z Fold 6 and the S24 Ultra, phones that are due to come out in 2024. Let's start off with the S24 Ultra and some massive storage amounts that are potentially coming to that phone. So this information is coming to us via Revegnas, and he is saying that the S24 Ultra has a 2 terabyte option, which is absolutely insane. Highest now they have is 1 terabyte, and they're going to double that. It says furthermore, it's almost certain that the RAM for the 256 variant will be 12 gigabytes. However, there could still be a 128 gig model with 8 gigs of RAM, so not really anything exciting with that. 128 and 8 gig RAM model, I wouldn't recommend getting that, but ultimately 2 terabytes again is, I gotta believe it's complete overkill. Like way overkill. But I know some of you are going to be like, you need it. I just don't think it's true. But hey, there's always going to be someone in the world that actually needs that amount of storage. But I think it's absolutely redonkulous. But we're not done with the S24 Ultra again in Z Fold 6 news, because there's more information about how the Z Fold 6 might change in design. And if it does this, I'm going to have to go officially back to that phone, because it would fix definitely one of the pain points about that phone. And here it is. This one's from Ice Universe. He's saying that, tell you my good news, my S24 Ultra rendering has been confirmed by the supply chain. If you are still not impressed with the S24 Ultra, you can watch this video, which is one of the prototype designs of the Fold 6. Its middle frame, flat bottom, and radian are exactly the same as the design concept of the S24 Ultra. Seeing it is equivalent to seeing the middle frame design of the S24 Ultra. Then on the other hand, it is speculated that since the design of the S24 Ultra is like this, the design of the Fold 6 should be similar to this. So the real Fold 6 is likely to be presented in this video. Maybe screen bezel will be narrower, but I've shown this off before. This guy, when he visited Korea to go see the unveiling of the the Fold 5, I should say, they showed off prototypes of the Fold 6. And again, this is one of the things, my pain points, is that smaller outside display. I want it to be wider, and this shows that, and it's just getting to that point where the Fold 6 is getting to be better and better and better and better. As updates come out, we're hearing that the animation and the fluidity is going to be on par or beating other phones, such as the Fold from Pixel and OnePlus and some Chinese manufacturers. Because if you know, the Samsung phones are fast, but sometimes the animations just get a little chugged up, just a slight bit, but I wouldn't call it laggy. So definitely keep our eye on this. I'm very much looking forward to the Fold 6 if it ends up looking like this. And then the S24 Ultra, I know the flat display, I'm so looking forward to that. I think that's great. I know it's gonna probably be a mixed bag, but first story of the day has to do with Apple's new iPhone 15 releases. When is this going to happen? When are they going to launch it? It's official, guys. The official information coming out. They've sent out their invites, calling it Wonderlust. Please join us in person for a special Apple event at the Steve Jobs Theater in Apple Park on September 12th at 10 a.m. So about 2 weeks from today. And then they usually release their phones about a week later. So you're probably looking at their first devices releasing on September 19th. Expect the iPhone 15 series, the Pro series, the Apple Watch Series 9, and Apple Watch Ultra 2nd generation. Next up is about the Galaxy S24 Plus, and actually all the phones as well, because they're all going to have the same brightness, and this brightness is ridiculous. I believe this is the brightest phone on any phone in the market. I could be wrong. It might be tied with another one, but it's ridiculous right now. So the first bit of information that's coming out is that the S24, 24 Plus, and 24 Ultra will have a peak brightness of 2500 nits. That's insane. Then to add on to that, the exclusive is that the S24 Plus will have a resolution of 3120 by 1440, which is WQHD+, and he says screen regression. whatever, you probably won't even notice, or probably barely anything. That's really the big thing here, is the resolution and the brightness on it. And it should have a flat display, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So I'm looking forward to the 24 series in general, the big brighter screens. I'm gonna have a video tomorrow, most likely, that details the differences between the 24 Plus and the 23 Plus and the 24 Ultra versus the 23 Ultra. It's my plan anyway, but yeah, looking pretty good so far on the 24. I know it's getting a lot of heat online, but I don't know. For me, I'm really looking forward to it. Next up, in our final story, has to do with the OnePlus Open Fold. As you know, foldable phones have a shelf life, or a folding life. You know, you can only fold it, or it's only rated for so many open and closed folds. And how many is the OnePlus Open Fold rated? Well, I'm gonna tell you, 10 years, guys. This is pretty crazy. And this isn't, you know, anything new. A lot of folding phones are this great with their folding reliability. So the information coming out is that the OnePlus Open has apparently been put through a lot of testing. You can open and close it for at least 400,000 times, which is the equivalent to like 100 folds a day for up to 10 years. It's crazy. So I'm very much looking at that phone. That's the phone I think I said I'm probably looking forward to that one almost more than anyone at this point. And you know what? Folding phones, they are getting better and better. I have to admit, you know, they've been very incrementally better and better, but now the battery life is amazing this year with the Fold 5 and definitely the Pixel Fold. I've been getting amazing battery life. I just tweeted a little bit ago about how awesome and proud I've been of the battery life on this phone, especially on the Android 14 beta. It's been super amazing. And every time they put an update out on the beta, it's been getting better and better. It's crazy. So very happy with that overall. Story of the day has to do with something that if you get a Google Pixel 8 and maybe an older phone as well, but definitely Google Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, there's some rumored information that's going to last you a long time, up to 5 years. So here's the information from Yogesh Brower saying Google is rumored to give 5 years of Android upgrades on the Pixel 8 series, similar to what Apple does with iPhone. So what this means is you'll get 5 years of security updates, but then you'll also get 5 years of OS updates. So every time there's a new version of Google, those new versions of Android, I should say, those new versions of Android would download onto your Pixel phone for up to 5 years. That's awesome. So if you're a person that keeps your phone for years and years and years, you'll be getting all these new features and things that they can add into your phone along with the updates for the foreseeable future. And as you can kind of guess, we're kind of getting into that moment of time where phones are just amazing. They've been amazing for a couple of years, few years now, and they don't really need to be upgraded every year, not even every 2 or 3 years sometimes. This is awesome news. So it's going to continue with, it's good for sustainability. It's good for people that don't want to spend money all the time and get a new phone. It's great for a lot of reasons. I really can't think of a negative reason for the consumer. The company, yeah, sure, we won't be spending as much money on phones, but at the consumer level, it's great. Next up is about the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Some major great news is coming out. If you remember, even a video I released earlier today, Galaxy S24 Ultra worldwide is supposed to either get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or, depending upon where you live, the Exynos 2400 processor. A lot of people love the Snapdragon. It performs better. It's better with cooling. It's better with performance. It's better with battery life. It's basically better in every sense of the word. And there's rumors coming out that wishes may come true about this, because Ravegnas is saying that regardless of the region, all models of the S24 Ultra feature the Qualcomm Snapdragon processors. Obviously, he's talking about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So this is amazing news. I wasn't worried about here in America because we were going to stick with the Snapdragon, but that would mean in Korea, Europe, India, Africa, South America, everywhere in the world, you would, if you get the 24 Ultra, that you would get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Now, I don't know if this is going to carry over to the 24 Plus and 24, but for the 24 Ultra, it's based off, this is a rumor, obviously, he's saying it's going to come true. So that's amazing. We'll keep our eyes on this. If it changes, I'll let you guys know. As more information comes out, I will obviously let you know, as I do on a daily basis. But the story is the One UI Beta 2 for One UI 6 is out right now. So if you have an S23 phone and you already have it downloaded, go to your software updates and download it. Some of the big bug fixes are bugs that have been fixed. They fixed the shortcut key error when using the keyboard. They improved intermittent infinite loading and playing error in Netflix. They fixed the home app crash problem, fixed improved instability in a multi-window function of security folder, improved device selection stability in music share, improved erase action stability in using the S Pen button, fixed execution fail of repair mode failed, fixed intermittent reset issue, fixed sluggish problem after software update, fixed icon disappearance problem in home screen after FOTA. Some known issues are the Kids app cannot be installed after updating from TOS to UOS when running the app on DeX. The color of the top bar in some of the apps is not displayed properly. When a message is received, the condition routine does not work. Mode and routine apps are stopped when conditions are activated. So nice little update for it. They finally, I don't think if I remember correctly, they didn't have this preferably 2 yet, but they now have the grouped apps, so all the things look all grouped up and nice and matched up. You can see you already got the quick panel and all that stuff. So some nice little updates running with it. It's getting better and better, and they're adding more value to the phones. Obviously, every single year they do an update, they're adding more value. So it's nice to see that they're pushing this up pretty quick, just like they do almost every year. So we should probably have the real launch for this. My guess would probably be by October. I don't think it'll fall into November if you have an S23. And our next story is all about the S24 phones. What are they going to look like side by side next to each other, and what can you expect? So here's a little diagram of Ice Universe has made up of a comparison of the S24, 24 Plus, and 24 Ultra, and you can see we've got a 6.2 inch on the S24 with full HD, 6.7 WQHD on the S24 Plus, and then just a little bit better, 6.8 inch on the 24 Ultra, but you get that big square flat display on the S24 Ultra. So it's going to be, at least size-wise, not a huge difference. I mean, unless you can consider the squared off edges of the Ultra versus the rounded edges of the Plus. The Plus will probably be more comfortable to hold. If you put a pop socket or something on the back, it won't really make that big a difference. I've been looking forward to the 24 Ultra with that flat display. But then, I think the Plus version might sell just as well, if not better, than the Ultra this year. I don't know, they're so close, and then the price will probably be $200 difference. And if people don't care about some of the camera updates and some of the other features that will be exclusive to the Ultra, such as the S Pen and things like that, they might go for the cheaper price this year and get an almost same size, almost same battery, 5,000 versus 4,900 milliamp battery. Some really close things in between the two phones. First story has to do with the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, a new feature that it's getting and a feature that's staying with it that the iPhone lost. And here it is, the information that's coming out. This is coming from 9 to 5, who's saying that the Pixel 8 Pro will keep their physical SIM card inside, and now they're going to add night sight for video. So what does that mean? It means, well, we're going to get a SIM card inside. Don't have to worry about eSIM. You can still do eSIM if you want, but you'll still have the option for an internal SIM card. Enjoy it, boys and girls, because it's eventually going to go away for everybody. So Apple basically is pushing that trend hard, and it's only going to get more and more present as time goes on, especially on the Android side as its only option. But yeah, so it's keeping that. And then night sight video. Basically what that's going to do, it's going to allow us to get better video when we do nighttime videos. It has night sight built to it for nighttime photos, so it'll basically take a photo and then does some processing, and it makes it brighter and more sharp, and video is going to do the same exact thing. So it's going to be a nice little feature added in, and it's going to be another reason you might potentially want to get a Pixel phone. I'm hoping they send this to me. They didn't send me the Pixel Fold, I'll be honest with you. Pissed me off, Team Pixel. I was actually surprised they didn't send it to me. And I'll also be honest, I'm not buying this phone unless they send it. I'm so mad. But anyways, it seems like it's still going to be a really great phone. So Pixel 8 Pro, that's again some of the new features coming over to it. Next up is about the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Here's the S23 Ultra, and the One UI 6 Beta 2 is so nice, guys. It's this phone, aside from what I'm about to tell you about the new camera, it feels faster than the Z Fold 5. The Z Fold 5 just chugs up a little bit. This just doesn't really I wouldn't say okay, chugs up is a wrong word. It's not as smooth as the S23 Ultra, but what I want to say is the new feature coming out for the S24 Ultra is going to be a new updated camera sensor. So we kind of knew it was going to get this, and some more information has come out, this time coming out from Mr. Ice Universe, who's saying that Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra main camera HP2SX with the same specs as the HP2 200 megapixel looks like an optimized version of HP2. So there's some phones out there that have 200 megapixel cameras. Samsung's getting it as well, but it's going to be like a more souped up, more updated version of it. So this phone already takes really, really good photos, but is it going to take is it going to take absolutely crazy, better photos than everybody else? It remains to be seen. We'll have to put that to the test when it comes out in about February. But I guess a slightly small reason or a big reason, how you look at it, to upgrade to the S24 Ultra. But it's a pretty interesting one overall. We've had the Galaxy Z Fold 5 now for 5 generations, and Samsung hasn't had a ton of competition here in the Western world. Now it's getting some competition from the OnePlus Open and the Pixel Fold that's been out, and I believe Motorola has had a folding phone or two come out, but nothing crazy that's really dominated or taken over Samsung. But what about another behemoth that has had a folding phone or a dual screen phone? Remember the Microsoft Surface Duo phones, the 1 and the 2? Well, it looks like Samsung's working on, or I should say Microsoft's working on, a competitor that's going to be very similar to the Galaxy Z Fold 5. The information that's coming out is Revegnas is saying Microsoft is working on a new product with a form factor similar to the Galaxy Z Fold. Rather than the traditional Surface design, it is expected to be released within the next 2 years. Now, 2 years is crazy. So much is going to change, but probably not. Is Microsoft going to be too late to the game, or people are going to be happy? Will Apple already have a folding phone by then that would make all this mute? But Microsoft's a huge company, one of the biggest tech companies in the world, and if anyone can make a big splash, it could be them. They weren't the first to come out with video games, and they came out with the Xbox, and it's not the most popular gaming system, but it's still very popular. So maybe they can do the same with this Surface Duo Fold phone, and I'd be curious to see what they do with that. I would assume it would run Android again instead of Windows, but yeah, I know I've heard rumors this might be coming out. It looks like it is still in the works. What do you guys think about a folding Microsoft Surface Duo coming like this instead of what they previously had? Let me know in the comments. I think it's an important one. Today was a slow news day, and I wanted to talk about if you can trust the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and folding phones in general at this point, or are they just too fragile still to trust? And I think we're getting to a point where these phones are getting manufactured better and better and better. And even before, this generation of phones, I would say they've been getting better and better and better anyway. And, now we're at the point where they just feel so good. Really, really good. Like the hinges feel tighter. You have no gap between the phones when they close. They're pretty lightweight. They're pretty skinny. You're in the 5th generation of the Galaxy line. Pixel Fold's their first one, and it still works fantastic. I haven't personally had any issues. And then you look at the other side, there's companies in China, they're on multi-generation of their folding phones, and any phone couldn't break. Have it be a candy bar phone or a folding phone or a flip phone, any phone can break. It can have screen issues, it can have issues with, the speaker or something getting into the charging port or the screen cracking or getting scratched when you drop it. Like, that stuff's inevitable with almost any phone. But what about specifically folding phones? I would say yes. I think at this point, they're pretty solid. They've been always pretty solid. I feel like they're like, 80, 90%. You won't have an issue, maybe higher than that. Depends on, a lot of people do. Some people do, I should say, have issues, and then a lot of people don't. I've personally had issues on every single folding phone I've ever had. But so far, fingers crossed, I haven't with the Pixel Fold or with the Galaxy Z Fold 5. And I think that has a lot to do, like I said, to do with the build quality, the multi-generation technology and information that they have on these phones. I still wouldn't do two things without this phone. I know some people are starting to not use these with cases. I think that's crazy. I think you're asking for a headache in terms of potentially dropping it and it falls in the concrete and you're scratching it or cracking it or breaking the cameras or breaking the screens or breaking something on the phone to where it just doesn't go well. And then the other part is I'd probably still get insurance on the phone just because I was still slightly worried about it. But I'll be honest, I don't have it on this Z Fold 5. I do on my Pixel Fold, but I can see possibly by next generation, and maybe I don't get the insurance. We'll see how this generation goes. But so far it's been really, really good with quality and the maturity of that technology overall. It's only going to get better and better and better and better as time goes on. So if you're concerned about the fragility of these folding phones, I would say have some hesitance, but don't be overly crazy about it. I think the days of there being a little speck of dust and it ruins the screen or the screen malfunctioning, which it still could happen, but again, it could happen to any phone. I think those days are a little bit beyond us at this point, and I have a lot of confidence in these phones at this point, especially this generation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.